For the past few weeks, the Hearst Center for the Arts has proudly been displaying two new exhibits, both showcasing the medium of printmaking.
So right now at the Hearst, we are kind of celebrating printmaking. We have two exhibitions right now, one of work by John Page, who is a Cedar Falls artist, and then we have kind of a major exhibition from the Syracuse University art collection that we're borrowing of Japanese woodblock cuts.
Cultural Programs Supervisor Heather Skeens explained why the two exhibits paired so well together.
We're hoping people will see that John Page most likely was looking at some of these very well-known examples of Japanese traditional woodcut printing, and you'll see the relationship between some of John Page's pieces and what's happening in the larger gallery.
Currently, the Hearst is displaying two different styles of these Japanese woodcuts.
There are two different time periods kind of explored in this exhibition. The first is ukiyo-e, and that's roughly 1750s to 1850s. And then later, the techniques that ukiyo-e artists were using with their woodcuts were adapted to later subject matter, and that's a period called Shinhanga. And that's going to be like after 1850, all the way up to probably like the mid-1900s.
The early history of Japanese woodcuts began as the reproduction of religious texts, or prayers, referred to as dharani. These prayers were then placed inside small hollow pagodas and distributed to temples in the mid-8th century. The earliest woodcuts were printed in just black ink, but later evolved into the ukiyo-e style produced by many well-known artists, some of which you can see at this exhibit.
There are several artists in this exhibition that people who really love Japanese woodblock cuts would be interested to see. We have several works by very well-known artists from both periods.
What makes these woodcuts unique is the lengthy process that goes into their creation.
The interesting thing about ukiyo-e, the style of woodblock cut, is that there's many people involved in making the prints. So you do have an artist that's credited with the original design, but you would also have artisans that were involved in the actual cutting of the woodblock to make the print. A different person might be responsible for actually inking the woodblock. Another person would be responsible for creating the print.
So what exactly were the images these artists were creating, you might wonder?
So ukiyo-e, that period in printmaking history in Japan, is well known for images of beautiful geisha, images of kabuki theater actors, or beautiful landscapes. Really intriguing patterns, bright colors, really dynamic compositions.
Skeens went on to explain how these early woodcuts may have even inspired some of your favorite artists.
Western artists were really drawn to these types of compositions and use of color, which we see adapted in work by artists like Van Gogh or Cézanne or Manet. It really helped kind of jumpstart the modern aesthetic.